So I realised after posting quite a few YouTube videos now, I haven't done a video actually explaining who I am, what I'm trying to achieve with this channel. So hi, my name's Harry. I have a full-time job and this is how I'm building wealth on the side. I think for so many people now, retirement or building wealth, getting ahead, it's difficult, it's stressful, it seems like an impossible task. So in this video, I'm going to break down how I've had success working a full-time job, building wealth on the side, and just breaking down kind of my background and my story. So remember, this is all according to my own experiences and not financial advice. Just thought I'd put that disclaimer in there. So 21 years old, my first sales job, started to first earn some real money. So I started working sales at 21, and yeah, commissions started coming in. It was the first time ever really in life where I was paying rent, so I was paying my own way in life, but I started to have excess money each month. So I thought, okay, cool, what can I do with this money? I worked in recruitment, so sales, and the environment I was living in, also helps. I was working or living with people, who were making money online. They were doing like Amazon FBA. So I thought, I should probably in my evenings, build some income on the side. So that motivated me to do the same thing, and trading and investing made sense. What I could do with my commission was, okay, cool, I can invest, I can trade, and go from there. I can work hard in that job to fund the trading and investing. It made sense. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to stick with it. So about 10, 11 months into sales, into recruitment, started to learn trading and investing. And yeah, that was kind of like the background of how I got started doing this. So first of all, when I started to trade, to invest, I started on the 5-minute chart. So I remember I used to get home from work. I would wait for, because I was based in the UK at the time, 8 o'clock in the evening or 9 o'clock in the evening, depending on the time zone. And I would wait for a market structure break, either bullish or bearish, on the 5-minute chart on a crypto coin. And I would enter, I would order, I'd watch, I'd be glued to the screen when it would be on. I'd be, sometimes if I got stopped out, I'd want to, go again, trade again, and like revenge trade, because crypto markets are 24/7. It was very easy for me to be glued to the screens, watch every single candle. And day trading, I kind of realized a couple months in, it just felt impossible. It was like, this is just not going to work. I've got no structure. I'm day trading. I wasn't day trading at work. I mean, I was a little bit, but it was more in the evenings. I'd come home and yeah, in the evening, I'd wait for that close and I'd take a trade in around there. And yeah, it just didn't work. So I actually switched to swing trading, which works perfectly around a full-time job. You don't have to watch the screens every day. You can spend a maximum of 2-3 hours, and even that's probably a bit extreme. It depends how much work you like to do. Swing trading, learn swing trading, do setups, and yeah, kind of realize that the 5-minute chart doesn't work for me while I'm working a full-time job. Swing trading works perfectly around a full-time job. That more high time frame approach and longer term view, which I worked for me. Now there is people I've met and spoke with who they make a lot of money day trading, but I feel like for me and for most people with a full-time job, it's just not achievable and it just doesn't work. So I moved country without saving for 6 months. So most people, they travel, they're moving country, they have to penny pinch, they have to save up money, they have to cut back on things, not go out to save money to move country. But because I made money swing trading, I didn't have to. I went on holiday to Budapest in February, then I moved to America in May. So I actually was like, I could pull up money from the money I made, which is obviously hard to do because you want to leave the money in the account, you want it to grow, you want it to compound. But I had to pay 2 months deposit on an apartment, no stress. I had the money there, so I didn't have to do a savings plan. Right, moving country, it is expensive. Like, it's not a cheap thing to do. It does cost, but I didn't have to have financial anxiety from doing it. I didn't have to cut back on costs. I didn't have to sleep on an airbed for a couple of months. I could just buy a mattress, and it was such a luxury. But that was like the hard work that I put in from swing trading. Now that was 3 years or so. Took me to kind of, okay, cool, I'm going to move country. But that money I made in the 3 years, it allowed me to move country and not be stressed financially. And it's also gave me a much better view of retirement. In that 3 years, I haven't made millions and so on, but I've just expedited the process of retirement because I've been consciously thinking and improving that skill of swing trading. So I have a better view of retirement. So I feel good about my financial future. I feel like good where I'm heading. Whereas when I wasn't trading, it's like, well, I'm working this job, but you know, what do I do? Because when you have excess money, I knew, okay, cool, I don't want to save it. Inflation's going to eat up on my savings. What do I do with it? And now I've got a skill and I've got a process which removes that anxiety, and it's really, really nice to have. Even though I'm not a trillionaire like Elon Musk or anything, it's like, oh, I have, you know, I'm at ease. I have peace, you know, with that, which is rare, which most people don't have, which is unfortunate. So I was only trading crypto throughout last year, which was a mistake. So in 2025, I was 100% in crypto, which 2024 was great. We had some great moves. But I realized as a high time frame trader, diversification across assets is essential. So the problem with one asset is I found that I had time to, you know, watch more things. Right, that's the problem. You're too concentrated. If there's no good price action on crypto, like there wasn't throughout 2025 at parts, you know, and the stock market's going, gold's going, I kind of realized, oh, okay, maybe I could watch this stuff, scale back on crypto, because you capture most of crypto's volatility through Bitcoin and Ethereum, mainly Bitcoin. Anyway, so okay, cool. Maybe I'll just focus on some other things, and that diversification really helps. So towards the end of 2025, I started to trade gold and individual stocks, learn, and again, it's just that improving. But I used the same process. Obviously, I have to chop and change it here and there, but on multiple assets, and that was the evolution of where I started to really get good results. It's like, oh, okay, if I watch multiple things, and someone actually inspired me to do this was a person called Darius Dale, who I've mentioned in other videos from 42 Macro. I definitely recommend to check him out. He talks about gold, I believe the global stock market, VT, I believe it is, and Bitcoin. They're like his three things. So I thought, oh, I could take the same, you know, sort of approach and build on it. And that's what I did. And that for me was where I started to get really good results, because I was just trading crypto. I was making money here and there. I mean, last year I was about break even, but you could start to trade stocks and gold on crypto. It forced me to do it, and then that kind of forced that evolution. So that was a big lesson that I wanted to, you know, put in, and that was like, okay, cool, I'm really getting results by having this diversified approach on the high time frame. So the reason I started the channel was a couple things. I remember seeing, I think, a post on LinkedIn from James Smith, the PT guy, who mentioned if you have a business or an above average knowledge on a topic, you should create content, because you never know what it can lead to. So I thought, okay, I probably have okay knowledge on this. And I actually went to a trading event, like a networking event, when I moved to the US. And I kind of realized, oh, I actually have pretty good knowledge on this. I can like hold my own in a conversation. People, you know, someone came up to me and I gave some advice. They were like, oh, that's really useful. So it was like, oh, I actually have some good knowledge on this. So I thought I would start this channel to share my process, my research, my way of thinking, because, you know, trading allowed me to, you know, as I mentioned earlier, move country and not have to worry about stuff. It's, you know, created opportunities for me in life. Yeah, it's not bought me the flashy car, the private jet, but, you know, it's gave me opportunities which I would have never have had whether I was to not done it. And it's just made me more at peace with my financial future, which is way more important than some flashy watch or some flashy car, right? So yeah, that's kind of the reason I started this channel. Saw people saying if you have, you know, knowledge on something, maybe create content because it could lead to stuff. And then yeah, actually being in a room with other people thinking, oh my God, I actually know a lot about this stuff, which is really useful. So look, what is this channel? So my videos will be about research for people with a full-time job. So it will be me doing my own market research. I've done like tens of thousands of back tests, which I'll be sharing that. I'll also be sharing news stuff like breakdown of what something is. Maybe like I got a video like, is Ethereum dead? Is the bottom in? You know, I'll be doing my breakdown, my analysis. You know, it's not tips, it's not predictions. It's just my research in, you know, real markets and what's actually happening. So my view of how I'm seeing things. It's not a course, it's not coaching. I'm just going to share the work I do, and then you can decide for yourself. You know, you've always got to do your own research. You know, I'm not going to start selling a mentorship or anything. I don't believe that's fair. I'm just going to share my research, my opinion, and then I do have a research newsletter, which, you know, every week, you know, I will be releasing at least once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times, whatever it is. It's called The Part-Time Trader. It's free to subscribe, and it will be delivered to your inbox of my process, my research, maybe a further breakdown of a video I've done. You know, it's early days, but yeah, that's what this channel is going to be about. That's what I'm looking to achieve. It's basically if you're a full-time person, with a job, but you want to feel more comfortable about retirement or just making money outside of your job, then this may be the place to be, right? And it is the place to be. And my newsletter should certainly help you with that because, it's not about, as I mentioned earlier, buying a flashy Lamborghini, buying a watch, going on a private jet. It's about just being at peace of mind, like, I have a skill, I have a process to compound my money in the long run. And that's what it is. But all of this stuff is going to be my research, my opinion, and I've got a newsletter to kind of break that down further. So, guys, I mean, that's it, to be honest with you. So, thank you very much for watching. As I mentioned, the newsletter will be in the description, and I will see you in the next one.